Right, so this is probably the worst possible idea I can do right now because I'm just pissed drunk. I partied a little bit too much. I had like several very, very high intoxicating drinks, so I'm totally cooked right now. But I have to get stuff done. So yeah, just be patient with me. We're gonna do stuff. I'm just all over the place right now. Also, Dragon Ball. Holy fuck. Bye, Jace. All right. Anyways, back to this. Just be patient. We'll do some work, but yeah, I'm totally like fucked up right now. Don't drink unless you're an adult, as usual. Holy fuck. All right, we're doing horror games. Okay, where were we last time? We have Dragon Ball happening in the background. Also, drink water if you're fucked up, but in my case, I'm not drinking water. I'm just drinking a Monster. I'm an idiot. Okay, where were we? Just give me a moment. I'm just reading this over again. Okay. Oh, fuck, I'm so cooked. Okay. I'll have to double check this tomorrow, like when I actually am up and not like under the influence of stuff. Oh, fuck, I got fucked up today. Okay, Section 3 is gonna be about the map. Yes, the map. Losing spatial awareness. Okay. Running. This is actually the most appropriate song right now. This is actually appropriate. Supposed. Supposed. That's the Namek Saga playing in the background. Running is supposed to be a solution. I'm not gonna drink for the next couple of days. Holy shit, like I was so fucked up today. It wasn't that bad, but it was free drinks. So I'm like, hey, say less, but I'm totally cooked. I didn't even go to the after party. I was like, yeah, I'm done. Just bring me home. But I'm still kind of wired, so I'm like, you know what, fuck it, I'll just stream. What happens? What happened on forward? Running is supposed to be a solution, a way out, but what happens when forward means nowhere at all? Wow, okay. All right, we're doing that. Fuck, okay. At least I can still type. I'm good. It's just I'm not as fucked up as I was earlier. I'm nice right now, but I'm still definitely feeling the vodka. Horror games, exploits. Eternal compasses. Okay. We as players. Horror games exploit our internal compasses, so we as players If I was actually good at video games, what would I rely on? If I'm playing a game, I would rely on my ability to move. So directional inputs, I guess. We as players rely on... No, directional inputs is like a lot. We can write... We as players rely on... Oh, fuck. Spatial... We as players rely on spatial... Never try to write a narrative when you're intoxicated, because that's gonna just make things so hard. But I can do this. I just gotta take like extra. I gotta just be patient when I'm writing this. We as players rely on spatial logic, so in a sense we're relying on directional inputs. So left, right, back, forward to make the decisions for us. So we as players rely on spatial logic. We as players rely on spatial logic. Left, right, back, forward. Yeah, I am so fucked right now. Okay, let me read this again. Running is supposed to be a solution, a way out. But what happens when forward means nowhere at all? I'm gonna definitely have to fix that sentence. Holy shit, that sentence sounds so scuffed. Running is supposed to be a solution, a way out, but what happens when forward means nowhere at all? Horror games exploit our internal compasses. We as players rely on spatial logic. Left, right, back, forward. Make decisions and track escape. Okay. That sounds good, it's just that other sentence just sounds weird. Okay. Wow. I'm trying to... I know big words are going to be kind of a pain in the ass. Okay, no, that's fine. It's a subconscious trust that movement equals progress. But in many horror games, Like I mentioned earlier, if I go to a vape shop and this song's playing in the background, I will like pop off. Running is supposed to be a solution, a way out. But what happens when forward means nowhere at all? Forward games exploit our internal compasses. We as players rely on spatial logic, left, right, back, forward, to make decisions and track escape routes. It's a subconscious trust that movement equals progress. Big words are hard to pronounce right now. But in many horror games, this trust is the first to die. We think we're making progress, but we're not. Oh boy, excuse me. As usual, do not drink unless you're an adult, or else you'll be like this old man who just totally got fucked up tonight. You think you're making headway. Headway's a good word. You think you're making headway. Have you ever been put in a situation where you think you're making progress, but you're not making any progress at all? That's what that feels like. Isn't that right, Vegeta? Running is supposed to be a solution, a way out, but what happens when forward means nowhere at all? Horror games exploit our internal compasses. We as players rely on spatial logic, left, right, back, forward to make decisions and track escape routes. It's a subconscious trust that movement equals progress, but in many horror games, this trust is first to die. You think you're making headway, but you're not. So I think I can use a non-horror game example here with the Forest Temple, since I'm listening to Zelda in the background. The Forest Temple is a funny temple in regards to like how it messes around with your mind. Like the corridors, the twisting hallways, all that fun jazz. It makes it feel like you're making no progress at all. On top of the Water Temple, of course, especially the Water Temple. So capitalizing off of that, so warping architecture. I'm not gonna be able to spell that properly right now. ARCHITECTURE. Okay. Warping architecture, twisting hallways, Forest Temple. Twisting hallways. Mirrored rooms. Mirrored rooms. Mirrored rooms. Mirrored rooms. Okay. Possible. Oh, hello, cat. All right. My cat just went right underneath my legs. I'm like, what the fuck is that? All right. You think you're making headway, but you're not. Warping architecture, twisting hallways, mirrored rooms, and impossible angles strip away your... navigational instincts. I'm gonna do like 10 more. I'm gonna do like, I'll finish up at the 30-minute mark so I can go lay down, but at least I got something started. I'm doing the best that I can here, but the normal thing to do would be, you know, you just drank a fuck ton of alcohol, go lay down, but no, me, I have to get some work done on YouTube. And I'm not spelling right. I know I didn't spell environmental wrong. I spelled that wrong. Oh, fuck. Yeah, I'm told. That's so cooked. Environmental, actually, no. Let's go with this. Environments that don't... Environments that don't obey real world... Environments that don't obey real world logic. Provoke unease. Provoke unease. Provoke unease. But when you're being chased, bong, when you're being chased, racism on my screen. He was pretty pissed off. Absolutely livid. Alright. Environments that don't obey real world logic provoke unease, but when you're being chased in them... All right. Let me read this out loud. Give me a sec. Running is supposed to be a solution, a way out, but what happens when forward means nowhere at all? I have to fix that. Board games exploit our internal compasses. We as players rely on spatial logic, left, right, back, forward, to make decisions and track escape routes. It's a subconscious trust that movement equals progress, but in many horror games, this trust is the first to die. You think you're making headway, but you're not. Warping architecture, twisting hallways, mirrored rooms, and impossible angles strip away your navigational instincts. Environments that don't obey on real-world logic provoke unease, but when you're being chased in them, they do something far worse. They unravel you. We gotta give examples. Damn, we do have to give examples. This is the worst possible time for me to be giving examples when I'm literally under the influence, but we can do this. Environments that don't obey real world logic provoke unease, but when you're being chased in them, they do something far worse. They unravel you. So, using me as an example, I hesitate. I retrace my steps. I definitely go back into rooms that I've explored before, so we can use the. I don't need to listen to that no more. That's just memeing me right now. So using myself as an example, you hesitate. I'm just assuming people hesitate. You hesitate. You hesitate. You hesitate. You retrace your steps, which you should. Usually we should. I normally go back into rooms that I've explored before. You enter. You enter the same room again. I'm gonna have the most godlike hangover when I wake up. But it's all good. At least now I'm gonna have a little more time doing stuff. I'm not gonna be. I have no more parties to go to. I'm chilling for the next week, so we'll get a lot more work done. Environments that don't obey real-world logic provoke unease, but when you're being chased in them, they do something far worse. They unravel you. You hesitate. You retrace your step. You enter the same room again. So these situations, I cannot spell. Even worse, these situations can cause your mind to play tricks on you. For example, no, we don't even need to put it for example. So, furniture layout may seem different. I've seen that. I personally seen that happen before. Furniture. Wow, I can't even spell furniture right now. Furniture placement may seem different. A hallway might seem longer. A hallway may seem. A hallway may seem longer. Owner. A door may seem to vanish. There was a door here, but it's gone now. It's probably alcohol talking, but I'm gonna do so. I want to do something. I'm gonna do something. I'm definitely gonna do something. Then I'm gonna wrap it up. Then I'm gonna go sleep on it and just think about how stupid this sounds when I wake up in the morning. The environment. The environment is gaslighting you, and you don't know why. Oh man, as soon as I reread this in the morning, we're like, what the fuck? I mean, yes, it is, but I wouldn't have really. It couldn't work. Fuck it, I'm gonna keep it. The environment is gaslighting you, and you don't know why. How and why. Okay, let's read this again. Running is supposed to be a solution, a way out, but what happens when forward means nowhere at all? Horror games exploit our internal compasses. We as players rely on spatial logic, left, right, back, forward, to make decisions and track escape routes. It's a subconscious trust that movement equals progress. But in many horror games, this trust is the first to die. You think you're making headway, but you're not. Warping architecture, twisting hallways, mirrored rooms, and impossible angles strip away your navigational instincts. Okay, we're clear on that. Environments that don't obey real-world logic provoke unease, but when you're being chased in them, they do something far worse. Sorry. They unravel you. You hesitate. You retrace your steps. You enter the same room again. These situations can cause your mind to play tricks on you. Furniture placements. Oh, I'm not cooked. Furniture placement. Furniture placement may seem different. A hallway may seem longer. A door may seem to vanish. The environment is gaslighting you, and you don't know how and why. Very interesting thing that I'm going with right there. Very interesting. Gaslighting. And you know, this is gonna lead into this. This is gonna lead into existential disorientation, as it always does. All right. It's good. Yeah, it's definitely gonna be disoriented. It's just gonna be definitely gonna be existential disorientation. Okay. So this breakdown did break down. This breakdown. Spatial. Did I spell that right? Spatial logic. This breakdown of spatial logic creates a new type. I've touched upon existential disorientation before. Creates a new kind of dread. Okay, that works. A new kind of dread. Which is existential disorientation. I cannot spell this right now. EXISTENTIAL. All right, existential. DISORIENTA. Okay, disorientation. There we go. Perfect. So what that is, player loses faith, not just in the game world, but in their own senses. Not just in the game world, but in their own senses. Okay. All right. Let me read this one more time before we wrap it up. We got. Again, I apologize, but I know I'm intoxicated. I'm nice. I'm very, very nice right now. Like, I can make it downstairs, but yeah, like I drank with way too much tonight. So I was still able to do this, but this could have been a lot better. But don't drink unless you're an adult. Seriously, don't drink. Tomorrow morning, if I'm not suffering from a hangover, I'll get up and I'll look over this for sure, because this is. I can already tell this is just weird things I'm writing right now. That makes sense, I think. So let's read this over again. Running is supposed to be a solution, a way out. But what happens when forward means nowhere at all? I have to fix that. Horror games exploit our internal compasses. We as players rely on spatial logic, left, right, back, forward, to make decisions and track escape routes. Okay, we're cool with there. It is a subconscious trust that movement equals. Hold on. The music stopped, didn't it? Yeah, it did stop. Good. All right. It's a subconscious trust that movement equals progress, but in many horror games, this trust is the first to die. You think you're making headway, but you're not. Warping warping architecture, twisting hallways, mirrored rooms, and impossible angles strip away your navigational instincts. Environments that don't obey real-world logic provoke unease, but when you're being chased in them, they do something far worse. They unravel you. You hesitate. You retrace your steps. You enter the same room again. These situations can cause your mind to play tricks on you. Furniture placement may seem different. A hallway may seem longer. A door may seem to vanish. The environment is gaslighting you, and you don't know how and why. Jesus Christ, and why. Proofread your stuff. Please proofread your stuff. This breakdown of spatial logic creates a new kind of dread, existential disorientation, which is the player loses faith not in just the game world, but in their own senses. Okay, I think we got something there. Like, we were able to get something done in this brief period, and they're about to get fucked up back there, by the way, until Piccolo shows up. But anyways, we got some stuff down. When I wake up tomorrow, we'll do some more things, but obviously we're not in the best state of mind. Alcohol is killing me right now. So have a good night. Thank you for stopping by for this brief stream. We got some stuff done. Tomorrow morning, when I'm not suffering through a major hangover, we'll do some more stuff. Okay, good night, and I'll see y'all later. We out. Bye-bye.